Boy, like honestly, man, this is what I get for trying to be optimistic. This is what happens when Inkarnate tries to play Mr. Nice Guy. I'm trying to tell you, man. Oof. Ah, man. So I'm obviously back from the theater, and whew, boy, howdy. What did I even watch? And I mean that in the most disrespectful way possible. What a dog. I mean, and hey, this is what I get for trying to show some optimism. And boy, I sure learned my lesson. We won't be having any more of that. First and foremost, I think I should begin with the fact that this movie is painfully unfunny. Much like Blumhouse's Wolfman last month, the monkey breaks that cardinal rule of entertainment. Don't be boring. You know what I mean? You can be obviously good. You can be, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I hate to use so bad it's good because I feel like that's a cop out and way too many people use that way too often to bail out movies that are just bad. No. It's not so bad. No, they're just bad. You can stop right there. But at least it would give people like me something to rail about if whatever movie is the subject matter just wasn't any good. This movie, I mean, my God, like, humor was your main selling point. That's what you used in the marketing, and this is what you delivered? Bruh, I'm trying to tell you, we're going to get into it. I'm at the same time, I don't even know where to begin. Like, how do you evaluate a puddle? This movie is so shallow. Thank God they kept the side characters to a bare minimum. The priest, the convenience store manager, the life coach author, because they are utterly lame. And even their brief cameos saw them overstay their welcome. Minor spoiler alert, but Elijah Wood plays like a author life coach about parenting, and he's about to attempt to adopt the son of the protagonist in this movie. And man, he tries so very hard to be funny. And I think that Frodo over there needs to be banned from cinema because it's like that effeminate soy boy isn't good at anything. And that's why he hasn't had a career in 20 years? More than that? Anyway, moving on. Yeah, the plot is woefully shallow. Like, man, I'm not expecting Shakespeare here, people, but at least have some attempt at a narrative. Like, if you're not going to be good at anything else, at least a story. I mean, come on. And oh man, they spoil like every damn thing, every major death in the trailer. Like, what the hell were you thinking? I know that trailers are notorious for that, but bro, you had a red band trailer and like everything is like, there's no reason to watch this movie other like in addition to the quality or lack thereof. My God, this flick falls prey to what I refer to as Zoomer humor. It's not even funny. It's just awkward and abrupt. Time and again, man. One scene after another. It's just this movie barely inspired a mild chuckle out of me. And again, the brief cameos that many of these side characters had, I'm staring at the screen. I'm like, man, they keep trying. They keep trying. Maybe this movie will accidentally be funny, I'm thinking. It wasn't until I was trapped in the theater watching this, and I said to myself, this movie reminds me that I hate these death trap movies. Final Destination, Saw. I mean, so between The Monkey and the films that I just mentioned, how sad that all three are getting a film release this very year. Escape Room was another one. Oh boy, that film series sure died a death. But like, I'm in the theater and I'm staring at the screen and I'm saying to myself, I'm begging, like, movie, I'm stuck. We're stuck in this situation together. I'm here with you right now. Give me something, man. Like, come on. I got like an hour and a half with you. This movie performed worse than a Kansas City Chiefs offense at the Super Bowl. It was at the midpoint of this movie where it relapsed into heavy exposition territory, where a certain character is just recounting the story to, get this, the monkey. Like, what are we doing here? I don't think that the monkey is alive, it's just cursed. Yet you use it as a device for which to blurt out what's going on here. Oh man. It's like, what are you doing? First off, for a narrative this shallow, do you really have any business relying on exposition to tell your story? Like, bruh, how lazy can you get? My God. You don't care. You, the audience, yeah, you don't care anything about these characters because, I mean, what do interesting protagonists even look like in 2025? It's amazing that we don't get good horror. We don't get iconic monsters. We don't get memorable moments. We don't get scenes that get people talking. Can you at least give me something more than a caricature or a meat sack to identify with? And without any of that, there's no need for anyone to have an arc, right? Look, as I've mentioned many a time, as I mentioned in the precaution before I left for the theater, I'm not a gore hound. But damn, dude, if you're going to have a red band trailer, you better be delivering the goods in the blood and guts department. Yeah, this movie doesn't. And see my comment about the spoilers in the trailer. This movie could have taken an interesting turn and perhaps explored the lore surrounding the cursed toy, not the backstory. I specifically mentioned in my precaution, I don't want to hear about the backstory of either the curse or the toy. But dude, delve into what the rules are. But who am I kidding? That would require imagination, and this movie ain't about that. The twist that this movie must have believed was compelling or something is mediocre at best. It doesn't add any intrigue in the slightest, and I don't think it's even interested in doing that. You know, oh man, I was staying with the movie, and by that I mean staying awake until the midpoint, but hot damn, that scene where one of the characters spells everything out in this obligatory monologue, oh man, that was when I just gave up on the movie being funny, let alone engaging. Fittingly, that's about where the movie threw in the towel and stopped even trying to be funny. And believe me, trying is this movie in a nutshell. They were aiming for comedy, but their attempts were so lackluster and fell so utterly flat, it was almost tragic. It's not funny enough to be a comedy. It's not scary enough to be horror. Jeez, even that was a letdown. Like, how do you screw up the gore? That was one of the selling points in your marketing. How do you fail to follow the assignment that you yourself wrote? Look, the monkey isn't creative when it really needed to be. It's not as amusing as it thinks that it is. It's not as entertaining as it could have been. For a movie about a wind-up toy, it's definitely spinning its wheels. At the end, it makes a Hail Mary attempt to salvage the story with shock and absurdity and gratuity, but I can assure you, there ain't nothing to save it, so there's nothing to salvage. Honestly, guys, if you had high hopes for this, I don't mean to dash them. Like I said in my precaution, I was willing to be optimistic about it, but man, if the movie just isn't gonna give me anything, despite everything that it promised in the trailer, I cannot give this a recommendation. Stay home. It's February. It's cold out. Stream something that you would even have the remotest chance of giving a damn about, because this movie is not worth the $15 for admission. It's not anything that it promises. I can assure you, you can find something on Prime or Netflix or any of the vast majority of your streaming services, a classic to warm up to, a horror comedy if you're into that. And if you're into that, it has to be the case that you already have your favorites. Please do not support this movie. It's not worth your money. And I'm sorry to say, considering Wolfman and Companion and Heart Eyes, man, it's just another failure of a horror movie in 2025. Crazy. Like, I was hoping that this would crack the code or break the streak. Nah, son. It ain't having none of that.
Psych! That's the wrong number!
Direct your attention, your intrigue, your money, your time, your energy anywhere the hell else. Take this as a lesson learned. It's boring. It's not worth your time. By all means, look for anything else. As I was leaving the theater, after I took a quick piss after watching this movie, I happened to have passed by a poster for 28 Years Later. Oh, man. That movie can't come soon enough, because PU. What we've had on tap lately for this year at the movies that I just mentioned, man, seriously, play a video game, watch one of your favorite classics, because 2025, off to a rough start to say the absolute least. Anyway, I've been Inkarnate, and I ain't just a big deal, I'm the real deal.
If you're resigned to your fate, time to subscribe to your fears.
Warn your friends.